Hello, everyone, and welcome to our screencast number one in math. Quick review of what we did today. Today, we talked about finding greatest common factor, or GCF, and least common multiples, or LCM. I believe the key fact or the key idea that we went over today is distinguishing between what's a factor and what's a multiple? And in one of our classes, one of our students said they're sort of cousins that aren't exactly the same thing, but they're within the same family. And I'd have to agree with that wholeheartedly. So let's take a look, I guess, first of all, what is a factor? A factor is, or should I say, are numbers that are multiplied together to get a bigger number. So let's take a look at, I guess, just number 12. Good number. And when I think about the numbers that I can multiply together to get 12, well, right off the bat, I think of 1 and 12. How about 2 and 6? And 3 and 4. Those of you that are not writing with a mouse pad probably would put commas in between all of those. Those of us like me who are kind of struggling with a mouse pad, will leave well enough alone. All right, multiples. Multiples are, well, numbers multiplied into our whatever number we're talking about. So how about 12 again? Talk about 12. And what are the multiples of 12? We talked about setting up a multiple table. Let's see, oh, brother. Nice and straight, perfect. And, okay, that's one column, 2 columns, 3 columns, oh, brother, 4, 5. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so I'm going to put a 1 here, a 2 there, 3, 4, and 5. What does that mean? Well, what it means is I'm going to put a little multiplication symbol here. I'm going to just do multiplication tables. So 12 times 1 is 12, first multiple. 12 times 2 is 24. 12 times 3 is 36. And so on and so forth. And 48. And 60. One person who was thinking a bit differently today, and yet fantastically, commented that they like to think of these as stacking cubes on top of each other or counting by numbers, counting by 12s in this case. And if I were doing, let's say, the multiples of 5, which is a classic, we would count by 5s, or say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so forth. So let's get to the nitty gritty very quickly. When I'm trying to, these are fun. When I'm trying to find the greatest common factor of both 12 and 18, step 1, what are all the factors of 12 and 18? Very quickly, let's take a look here. So we got 12. Well, 1 and 12 would be our first set of factors for 12 and 18. 2 and 6. And 3 and 4. Our factors for 18, I'm going to write a 12 over here, so I'm remembering that. 18. We got 1 and 18. 2 and 9. There it is. Gorgeous. How about 3 and 6? And I can't think of a 4 or a 5. So there are the factors. Now all I do is take a look at the common factors, 1 and 1. Perfect. 2 and 2. Right? 3 and 3. Right? 6 and 6. And all other numbers are not shared, or all the factors, I should say. So what is the greatest common factor of 12 and 18? Well, it is, you got it, 6, because that is the greatest common factor. Let's go to multiples very quickly. Find the least common multiples. Well, we need to find the multiples of 2 and 3 by, well, let's just make a list of what they are. Oh, let's not use that. Well, a number line would be helpful, yes. So there are all of the multiples of 2 and all the multiples of 3. And when we find the least common multiple, we look for the smallest number, which in this case would have been 6. I like this one, using an organized list. This is my favorite. So listing 2's, there's multiples of 2's and the multiples of 3. Finding the common multiples, in this case 6 and 12 is shared in both lists. So the answer is 6. 6 is the least common multiple. That's the end of our first tutorial talking about factors and multiples. Thank you.